here in the country. We woke up this morning. It's more than we deserve, right? So, as long as we can do that, we can be happy. In the name of Jesus, I pray that anyone that comes across my feed is blessed and can be given discernment and understanding and wisdom. Amen. Thank you. I hope you all enjoy the broadcast today. So, I got a like with no view. That's weird. Okay, I guess Jesus just decided to like the video. So, we're going to get into this because there's a lot. Okay, now it popped up. We're going to get into this because there's a lot of stuff going on out here, and there's a lot of stuff we need to decipher through. There are senators outright calling for the military to defy orders, which is a very high crime in America. They're putting up billboards for it, all kinds of crazy shit. Then we're just going to get right into this couple stories that are out here right now. So we're going live like this today, guys, because I honestly didn't want to set up this feed on the big screen. So Wajahat Ali says white Americans' culture sucks and they lost by allowing mass immigration. So at least they're flat out just come out telling you it now. That way when the Democrats deny it, they're like, but look, this guy was a representative of this country and he's just outright telling us when, their culture eats gravy with their fucking bare hands, which is fucking savage and disgusting. Even barbarians use the fucking wooden spoon. U.S. warships head to the Caribbean amid escalation with Venezuela. I'm going to be honest, guys. I put the map up yesterday for the airspace in Venezuela, and people stopped flying over. And let me explain why they do this. It's because they don't want any casualties of innocents. You understand? Because we're going to war with Venezuela. They got a bunch of fucking oil. It's shitty oil, but hey, we can refine it pretty well. But long story short, the commercial airliner got shot down in Ukraine, remember? Because the airspace wasn't closed and they flew over. So that's how that works. But it's getting interesting. Getting interesting out here. And we got much more news than this. We got Hegseth accused of war crimes over alleged targeting of survivors following Caribbean boat attack. Who gives a fuck? At this point, we need to take full war powers. Trump gives update on the guardsman, Andrew Wolf, which we've got two stories on that. And he's in a coma, but he's responsive at the moment. Trump doubles down on calling Waltz a retard. Absolutely. Let's make shaming great again, because this guy is a freaking retard, Trump says he wouldn't say it went well or badly when asked about phone call with Maduro. Look, we're going to war with Venezuela. Just put two and two together and wake the fuck up. So let's hope that they go through with this. Let's hope we actually start getting some denaturalization and deportations of traitors to this country. Let's go ahead and get into the first story, because this one's nuts. Hopefully they have the video in this. If not, I do have the video loaded on another page right now. So this guy, what a fucking idiot. What a way to ruin your career and only make sure that leftists ever see anything you ever do. You know what I mean? Like, this guy just completely fucked everything in his life. Especially when you have a Republican president. So, we suck. Everything about white people sucks. Everything about America sucks. Our culture sucks. Even though this motherfucker's country smells like human shit. And they have garbage piles everywhere. And they eat with their fucking fingers. And it's weird and it's gross. Even monkeys are more civilized than these people are half the time. So this is the guy. So we'll read it and then hopefully... Daily Beast columnist and New York Times writer Wajahat Ali went on a racist tirade against white people. But don't worry, white supremacy is the number one thing you have to worry about in America. During a live stream on his Substack declaring that while American culture sucks, let's do it this way. While American culture sucks, and telling white viewers that they are going to be outbred by brown people. We're going to be outbred by brown people. Well, that's not going to happen, but I mean, okay, whatever. In the video, Ali repeatedly mocked white people, Americans, while claiming that allowing non-white immigrants into the country was a mistake. Yes, we know this. We're trying to rectify that mistake right now. We understand this. We get that it was a mistake to let you people come into our country. But thanks for telling us. Thanks for letting this be one of the people that represent. Everybody's like, oh, this guy should stop. No, let him keep saying this shit. Keep talking about this stuff, brother. Keep it up. We love hearing about this. White people, horrible. We're terrible. We're no good. You have lost. You have lost, Ali told white people. And the way he words this in his video is just insane. Imagine this in reverse. Imagine if a white person were on TV saying, you brown people, you black people, you have lost. White people are going to outbreed you, and we're going to destroy everything you believe in, and everything you do sucks. Imagine that in reverse. You know, I would never say you're fat. I would never say you're retarded. I would never say it to your face. I would never tell these people how dumb they are or how stupid they are. But they are. They're the dumbest people. Everybody tells me. Holy crap. And we breed, hold on, brown people. There's a lot of us, like a lot, okay? And we breed. We are breeding people, he continued. The problem is you fuck your cousins and your family members. That's the problem. That's why you're so retarded like this, okay? That's the problem. So he continued, the problem is you let us in 1965, Ali continued, by describing how it is common for non-white immigrants to bring their extended families into the country, saying these families will have a bunch of kids. And he went on a long tirade. I'm glad they cut it out because he talked about his first cousins, his second cousins. Yeah, we all know you fuck your first cousin to make yourself dumber. We get you want retarded people. Okay, and the problem we have right now is they just released a bunch of polls yesterday, and we went over some of them in our late night live last night, but 62% of the largest voting bloc of this coming up vote believes communism is the answer in this country. Let me repeat that. 61% of this younger generation believes that communism is the number one answer. So that's a fucking problem. We have socialist communists right now winning their elections in fucking Tennessee where Trump won in a landslide. You know what I mean? So think about that. So the sad fact of the matter for them is our generation might not be the largest voting bloc this year, but we are the largest bloc of gun owners and the largest bloc of the enforcement power and running the economy of this country. So there's not much they can do. Listen, this is going to get really bad in the next 3 years, I think. So a lot of the stuff that Roseanne Barr talked about, like the military tribunals and shit like that, well, even though she didn't articulate it very well when she was speaking with Tim Pool, I mean, it is looking like we're going to have some military tribunals. I mean, look at these senators. They're putting up billboards telling the military to defy illegal orders. Oh, they're just saying don't do what's illegal. But for the past 9 months, they've been on TV saying all of Trump's orders are illegal, even though they're not. They're 100% constitutionally protected activity. So when their rhetoric is everything's illegal, everything's illegal, everything's illegal, and then months later they come out and they say, oh, hey, by the way, don't follow illegal orders because we've been telling you this is illegal all this time. Well, guess what? It's a great thing that we have written documentation, words that people read. I know that only 19% of us can read on a 9th grade level in this country, but come on, guys. The Constitution's pretty clearly explained, and it's pretty simple to read. I mean, they even put it in verses similar to the Bible. That way you could read it more easily, so even retarded people can understand their rights in America. But it seems that people are so dumb that they have lower IQs than the forefathers did, and they can barely have clean water. So that's pretty dumb. That is pretty dumb. Like, if people like me cease to exist right now, left, you would all die. You know that, right? You wouldn't be able to eat. You wouldn't be able to get clean water. You wouldn't be able to run this economy. You wouldn't be able to do shit. And you would die easily because you're like, oh, well, we just imported it all. Yeah, and they'd murder you. Once they get over here, they just murder you. Now, you need a life because you're in my shit. So you need a life. So how sad are you if I'm a piece of shit and you're not? Okay, you already know if you bombard my comments like this, I have to put you in a timeout. So I got to put you in a 10-minute timeout. I got to keep my subscribers and my watchers able to comment and see things. You can't just bombard because I believe in the First Amendment. You got to, we don't need drugs in our country. If we can get drugs out of our country, put God back in our country, get all the things that have screwed our country and just tore us to pieces, get all communist believers out of our country, all socialist believers out of our country. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, we have a right. No, you don't have a right to be a communist. We have the Communist Control Act of 1954. We have the Hatch Act. We have the Patriot Act. We have all kinds of laws against communists taking hold in any type of thing in Florida whatsoever. The Second Amendment is very important. All gun laws are illegal. If we could just reenact the Second Amendment to its original belief, we wouldn't have these problems. An armed society is a polite society. When everybody has guns, the people that don't need guns just won't be here anymore. Then we don't have overcrowded prisons. We have plenty of fertilizer, and our grounds are nice and lush. And we have a proper society because the proper society is the one that took the time to learn how to use their firearms and learn proper firearm safety so we didn't shoot ourselves. And the ones that were doing bad things just got shot by the ones that are doing good things. That's a pretty easy society. You know what I mean? So, murder. Okay, let's get back. I digress. Let's get back to this asshole here. Okay, I know I'm an asshole, but I got plenty of time. So, and then guess what? Some white women, the Western civilization women, the pure women. No white person talks like that, by the way. Nobody talks like that. Okay, this is, where do they get their fucking racist white supremacist speech from? We damn sure don't call our women the pure women. We got some fucking straight sluts and whores on our side, bro. So, what? Just go look at OnlyFans. Women, the pure women, the American women. So what are you saying? Your women are fucking tainted? So the American women are what you need? Your women are fucking tainted? That's what that sounds like to me. Okay. Anyway, I digress again. The Rust Belt women, to quote unquote, the Rust Belt women, the real women. Okay, so I can agree that they're the real women, they're the better women. I can agree with that. They like some of us brown folks. We don't take them, they come to us. And then we have kids. And now you got these beautiful caramel skinned kids. Okay, let me explain how science works to you retards from other countries. Genetically speaking, they've done tests on this. Okay, they bred and they did interbreeding and all of this stuff with different cultures. And it actually took, when they bred white people with other cultures, it actually took longer to breed the white genes out of that culture than it did the other genes. So you're actually just dumbing your genes down from your example when you look at it scientifically. Okay, because in the culture of things, those white people don't move to a fucking brown country and then start spreading out the seed. No, those kids still live in a white country and then they go fuck white people and then they have more white kids. You know what I mean? So that logic doesn't really stick together too well, especially when you live in a white culture that is majority white in the culture. Everybody says, oh, well, you're the minority. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're 67% of the motherfucking country. All the rest of you are the minority of this country. Okay? Okay, let's get back to that. Beautiful caramel-skinned kids. I'm red-skinned. I'm dark. I got a darker melon skin tone to me. So you can't call me fucking racist, right, you little pasty white motherfuckers? He continued attacking white culture, saying, your story is a shitty story filled with misery and filled with bland chicken. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Curry is the grossest shit in the fucking world. Your food is disgusting. Everything's a rice dish with some kind of weird funk. Dude, you people smell weird. All the stores that you buy smell weird because it all smells like fucking curry. Do you understand when white people walk into your shit, we're like, what the fuck? Did somebody just shit on the floor in here? But your nose and your taste buds are so fucked up from that. Biscuits and gravy? We have no flavor. Biscuits and gravy? We got oh, it's because you've never had bacon. That's why you don't know what a true flavor is. You don't eat pork. Listen, man, bacon goes with everything. You put bacon in your fucking ice cream, bacon on your fries, bacon in your fucking root beer. They got bacon root beer. We're American. We like bacon. We like fucking gravy, real gravy. That shit you call gravy is not fucking gravy. Biscuit gravy with milk gravy, brown gravy, off the blood and the juice of the fucking... Man, look. You say our food is bland. Well, that's because you have no taste buds. Because your food tastes so fucking horrible. The shit you eat is so bad. You have to cake it with spices. We like the taste of our meat. We're not eating fucking tongue and fucking bull nuts and fucking dick, camel dick and shit. You know what I mean? We're eating fried chicken, bro, with fucking barbecue chicken, fucking... We're eating the good parts of the animal. You guys literally eat camel dick, dude. So don't even talk about how shitty our food is. You guys cut a camel's tongue out and eat it. You eat monkey brains. Motherfucking Africa, they take a whole monkey with fur and all, and they throw it in a boiling pot, and they eat it like that. That's fucking crazy, dude. That's the craziest shit I've ever seen. Have y'all seen that video? The funniest one is with the Hodge twins. Go check out the conservative twins, the Hodge twins. Man, the funniest video, just Google or YouTube Hodge twins, monkey in a pot in Africa. That shit is fucking hilarious. Anyway, let's get back to it. He continued attacking white culture, saying, your story is a shitty story filled with misery. It's filled with bland chicken. It's filled with terrible, terrible dry-ass meat. I don't know who the fuck's cooking for you or where you're getting your meat from on your third world fucking street. But my shit's juicy as a motherfucker, bro. It's so juicy it melts in my mouth when I eat it. So I don't know, but I'm from the South. You must be getting your shit from I don't know where. Vegans. You must be getting shit from vegans. That's not food. That's not America. Okay? Fucking talking shit about our food, man. Fried chicken, bro. Filled with bland chicken. Our culture sucks. White people prefer other cultures for entertainment. You do realize that you people were living in mud huts, eating each other when we found you, right? Like, you had no culture. What are you talking about, bro? Your braids are literally called the fucking Dutch braid. Even though you can't even take slavery. You can't claim slavery, bro, because the word slave comes from the word Slav, which literally means fucking white person. We didn't even know what you were. We had no clue what there are people in America in my generation that didn't even know what the fuck another person with another skin color was until we were like 13, 14 years old. So stop saying people stole your culture because your cultures fucking are garbage, bro. You flee to our culture because of how shitty your culture is. So if your culture's so awesome, let us send you back there. That's a great representation of that. Remember the black American girl that went to fucking Ghana last year? And she gets there and she's there for like 2 weeks. She's like, oh, fuck this shit. They hate me here. They're robbing me. They're ripping me off. Like, Africans hate black people from America. You understand that, right? They think you're soft and weak-ass pussies. Okay? Mr. Beast fucking built 100 wells in Africa. In 1 year, they all collapsed and they were drinking dirty water again. Come on now. Fucking don't even start about the Middle East, bro. Fucking Hamas is tearing your water pipes out of the fucking ground and using them as missile silos. That's how back-assward you people fucking are. You got meat hanging from a hook. You don't have refrigerators. You don't have fucking transmission lines to run electricity. You ain't got none of that shit. We bring you that shit. When we came over to Afghanistan and Iraq, guys, they didn't even know you had to aim at people when you shot them. They would just shoot in one direction, and they thought Allah carried the fucking bullet for them, automatically killed a person for them. They thought they were just firing in directions. They were wasting hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammunition just firing at nothing because they thought they were hitting shit. Okay, these people are fucking. There's a reason that the Quran says to fuck your first cousin, to fuck your second cousins. They want to keep their societies dumbed down so they can't see how fucked up it is. They'll tell you flat out. They want the IQ of all nations to be around 85 to 80, so they can more easily fuck them up. And for those of you that think you know about the Muslim religion, okay, look up the practice of taqiyya. It's Taqqiya. It is in the Quran. Their religious text tells them they must lie to the infidel to infiltrate and take over. Okay, it's the practice of taqiyya. It's in the Muslim religion. It is the religious practice of lying to the infidel to take over their shit. Okay, so first they lie to you. They tell you they're peaceful. Oh, peace be to Allah. Oh, peace be to you, brother. Oh, peace to you, brother. Peace to you, brother. As soon as you turn your back, they stab you in the fucking neck. Okay? But then they go straight to victimhood. There's big, fat, fucking pussy victims, bro. Oh, I'm a victim. Oh, God, he spit on the ground 3 feet from me. Oh, God, I hate crimes. Oh, big pussy. Fucking, that's what they do. And then they go straight from professional fucking pussy-ass victim with a vagina so big you can see it from the fucking moon, and they go straight to infiltrating your legal systems. And once they've infiltrated your legal systems, like Dearborn, Michigan, like the DAIR, the DARE, CARE, CIAR CARE program, Florida. They have their own Muslim courts, they have their own Muslim cops, they have their own Muslim lawyers, their own Muslim civil rights prosecutors, everything. Here in the state of Florida, okay, which we've massive FBI investigations going on in the state of Florida right now. I can't wait until we can release all the stuff that's happening, because that's why I haven't been speaking at school board meetings, guys. I've been exposing these Muslim cells in the state of Florida. I did a whole 2 hours on it the other night. It's in one of my lives here on YouTube. 750,000 Muslim nationals in the state of Florida, 500,000 of which have just come here under the Biden administration. Okay, they are getting brought here and funded by an organization called the CARE Organization of Florida, CARE Florida, and the Muslim Brotherhood. They're both under the same umbrella. The CARE Muslim organization has their own lawyers, their own judges, their own prosecutors, their own everything, their own laws, okay? And this is being implemented in the state of Florida. You're just not hearing about it because Ron DeSantis is so fucking great, right? Keeping us so safe. But we have 2.6 million criminal aliens in our state right now, too. You can look it up. It's a Googleable fact. You have to argue with ChatGPT about it. Because what the fuck's going on with ChatGPT, by the way? You have to argue with it to get you to... And they'll be like, oh, yeah, you got me. I was fucking with you for the Democrats, but, yep, you got me. Like, I had to argue for 25 minutes that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. They told me Charlie Kirk was still alive. I posted it in one of my posts. ChatGPT told me Charlie Kirk is still alive, and he's out every day with Turning Point USA doing events. And then I was like, no, Charlie Kirk, I had to put all the information in. And it said, no, this is what actually happened. I had to argue with it for 25 minutes before it said, oh, you got me. You got me. Absolutely. But we're all equal? No, we're not all equal. That's the problem. We're not all equal. Okay? This whole you gotta lead with your heart bullshit. No, that means you're leading with your emotions and your feelings. No. Even in the Bible it says, renew your mind before you work on your heart. You don't lead with your heart, you renew your mind and your spirit first. So you can do things. I get it. But still, a lot of people don't understand what satire and sarcasm is, my friend. And we have a problem with an entire society of people that don't understand the concept of words, definitions. They don't know what a book is. They can't read past a 9th grade level. They can't do simple math because these schools, have y'all seen how they do fucking math? Have y'all seen how they do math now? It's fucking the dumbest thing ever. I can make 2 pots of coffee and cook my fucking bacon and eggs in the morning and already have the entire sheet of equations done by the time they're done with one problem. It's just really dumb. And I would never do it that way because I get the same exact answer by simply carrying the number. Like, oh no, but you have to do this and you have to build a box and you have to do an entire fucking physics equation just to get how to add 2 plus 2. And then they tell you it's fucking 5. I'm like, you motherfucker. Listen, 2 plus 2 is 4. And dicks are for chicks. And I'm not going to say the rest because women might think I'm a misogynist and take offense to that. But still, it's just simple things. Like simple Webster's dictionary words in simple definitions. They're like, oh, but this is the definition of colonialist. There's usually 2 to 3 examples of a definition to a definition. And they don't understand that. Or they do understand it, and they're so fucking retarded, and they so far up each other's assholes for this human centipede, just blah, 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 that they're like, no, this is the one we take. This is the one we pick. No, well, there's this one, and this one. These are all the same definition of the same fucking word. So you have to use them all. No, you're colonists. Muslims aren't colonists. Even they've literally colonized more than anybody besides the Romans and the British. I mean, Americans are actually the least of the colonizers anywhere because we were just some English people that were like, hey, we don't like fucking Britain. Fuck you. We don't want some king and monarch. We want some freedom. And we're like, well, we're just going to take this shit where these savages stole this from these people. And, these guys are cutting people's hearts out and then hanging their heads on pikes. And, oh, shit, look, they're eating Roger over there. So we're going to fucking kill them real quick because they're fucking eating us and we can't live peacefully with them. So, hey, let's take that out. But here's the thing. The only language that's spoken in most countries is English. Because we are stronger than all of you. This one little country is the only country that hasn't conquered everything in the fucking world by force, but we show force, and through that force, your vagina goes, and we get what we want. Isn't that amazing? As a matter of fact, should be considered the most peaceful country to ever exist besides Sweden, right? Because, Britain conquered half the world. Rome conquered half the world. The Muslims conquered all of the Middle East, colonized all of the Middle East from the Jews, by the way, because all of that land belonged to the Jews before anyone even knew it. There was no such thing as a Muslim in that point in time. You know what I mean? They didn't have a thing. They were considered pagans and fucking Gentiles and shit like that. So, I mean, if you want to get technical, we're the least colonizing. I am so sick of tired of Republicans being feckless pussies because only Republicans are holding back. Only Republicans are holding back. The left damn sure isn't holding back. They're telling us flat out, we want to murder you. And guess what? We're going to vote everybody that wants to murder you in. We're going to vote in all these people that are outright saying they are communist, socialist, Muslim fucking supporting pieces of shit that want to murder your children so you can watch your children die in your arms and then vote for gun control for them. They're flat out telling you this. Tennessee, a communist is about to win an election. This shit's all over the world. It's not just a New York thing. It's not a Chicago thing. It's not just... I played you the video of what was going on in Philadelphia. That shit's fucking insane. Those are children saying we must kill the Americans. We will fucking sacrifice our souls to destroy you. That is insane, bro. Those are baby children. You got to understand, 10 years, this generation that's voting right now was 10 years old when they started hearing Orange Man bad, Hitler, 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 all white people are evil, Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. So now these kids are 20. And they're voting. So when they were 10, all they hear from mainstream media and all of the motherfucking social media is white people bad, white people bad, Trump is Hitler, white people are Nazis, Nazi, 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 racist, racist, racist. You can cut your penis off and now you're a girl. You can fucking do this and now you're that. You got to get the jab even though it's not a vaccine. But we're going to change the definition of a vaccine because you're so fucking retarded you don't know the difference. Because you don't know the definitions of words or the concepts of anything. You don't know how to take the simple logic out of a situation, research it for 2 seconds. For 2 fucking seconds, not on TikTok. Just research it for 2 seconds. First thing you should always do if you want something political is check the DOJ's website, the FBI's website. the presidential website, the White House's website, and then work your way down from there. You know, go to military.com, go to military websites, go to Pete Hegseth's website. I mean, if he doesn't have the information first, nobody's gonna. You know what I mean? So when you want to research things, you can go to, if you want to research laws, you go to the law library. You go to the federal law library for federal laws. You go to the law library, the state law library of your state for state laws. And then you work your way to news sources. Don't ever start off with a news source, because even Fox News is garbage. Fox News is a lot of fucking mainstream shit now too. The only place you hear people talking where it's actually factual and they're giving their opinion and they tell you they're giving you their opinion until they have the facts are social media personalities. That is the new news. Social media is the new town square. Regular media doesn't matter anymore. Just the boomers. The boomers are all going to be gone in 10 years. You understand that, right? They're all going to be dead. There's going to be no more boomers. They'll all be dead. The house is going to be gone. Their voting block is going to be gone. Generation X, we're the oldest voting block after boomers. You get that, right, guys? And then it's downhill from there, because you go to the millennials, some of them, you know, the ones that are like, they say Generation X is only until like 1980, but I mean, even the kids that grew up in the 90s, all they heard on their morning cartoons is, "You are Generation X. Wake up and go outside, ride your bike, get healthy." You know? So once that kids from the 90s up are gone, fuck, that's when all the bullshit started. About Obama eras, like, it started way before that, but you know what I mean. Everything got perpetuated and moved forward. Like right now they're talking about, oh God, they're talking about doing tests on American citizens in the streets with the military. It's training. You mean like when Barack Obama sent Black Hawk helicopters into the middle of my town in Tampa, Florida in 2000 and something, and fucking was doing outright training, literally chasing American citizens in mock battles across the fucking city and flying at 2 a.m. in the morning downtown Miami with Black Hawk helicopters in between buildings, 2003. Yeah. Or all the guillotines that he fucking got put together and all the Muslim propaganda he tried to pass in our country and the American citizens he drone striked and the cages he built to put the kids in. You mean like that kind of shit? You mean like the training exercises that Bush did with the military in the streets? Like every president's done under their jurisdiction, except now we have a president that understands that fuck these other countries, we're just going to blow you the fuck up if you don't want to agree. Absolutely. Let's do that shit. We're being fucking Fast and the Furious. We're being pussies right now. Fat out vaginas, bro. Big old fat pussies. Listen, man, I want the Insurrection Act passed. I want the fucking Marines from 29 Palms dragging fucking terrorists across the asphalt on their faces, bro. That's what I want to see in the fucking streets right now. I want to be out there high-fiving these motherfucking federal agents while they're dragging these people out of their homes and saying, get the fuck out of our country. You hate America? You're done. Get the fuck out. You don't like this country? Leave. Because no country has ever come back from where we're at right now. No country has ever bounced back. But we're going to show the world that that's not true about America. Because we're fucking awesome. And we're more savage than you fucking other countries are. And that's what they're saying in all the other countries right now, too. They're like, well, we're just going to sit back and we're going to let them collapse some more. Because once the Muslims start rising up, what do you think's going to happen? What about all these other cells we have in this fucking country? Remember that? The Chinese people, the nationals, all this other shit we have going on? They're all going to work in tandem with each other. And they're going to blow this fucking country up literally over this fucking coming next 2 or 3 years. Man, you think we're seeing crazy shit right now? Wait until the midterms pop up. Wait until just a month and a half from now when the midterms, when the elections start. You think people aren't going to be getting fucking shot at? This is why so many people are going to be resigning. And they're already talking about it behind closed doors. They're already talking about it behind closed doors. Tons of firebrand MAGA Republicans that are in the House are talking about leaving the House of Representatives. Okay? A bunch of straight up MAGA personalities on YouTube. And I finally heard somebody else talking about it the other day, which is Tim Pool. He was talking about it too. Listen, all of these people we know, I might not have a big channel anymore, but those of y'all that know me, I used to have 2.5 million followers on YouTube during 2020. I had a massive channel on YouTube. I got banned for 5 years. I got demonetized for fucking 6. Okay. So I just got demonetized 2.5 months ago. We're building back up. But I still talk to people on WhatsApp. I still talk to people on Signal. Okay. I'm building everything back up. I'm getting back into the shit of it. And I'm finding out that there's a tons of people that are going to quit. And then we have Nick Fuentes out here with this generation for Gen Z right now and Gen Alpha. Okay, that's just socialism with the white people perspective from it. Everybody's like, oh, he's a Nazi. No, he's just a socialist. He's just more of a Stalin-esque Hitler style of socialist rather than the left are socialist where they're trying to, I don't know. The left socialism is just fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like all this fucking transgenderism and all this, that basically isn't transgenderism. It boils down to transhumanism. They want people to be comfortable with this shit. That way when they start popping this chip in your brain and taking your soul from you and sucking everything out of your brain and replacing it with the knowledge they want you to have, that's transhumanism, where, you know, you start combining your consciousness with fucking technology. And that's what we're getting to right now. He's not a nationalist, though. He's a socialist because he believes in social programs. You know, he's not a nationalist. He's y'all say that because of white nationalism, but I mean, I guess we would be Christian nationalists on the right then, if you want to get technical about it. What do you think nationalist means? It doesn't mean you're a racist or anything like that, you know. So, but he does believe in, he said, the left has to give up on open borders and the right has to give up on the free market capital. So giving up on the free market capital and talking about socialist programs is the definition of socialism. You know what I mean? Are you a Zoomer? Nick Fuentes is awesome. Because I don't believe in social programs. I believe in a free market capital. I'd rather be able to get out here and knock on doors. And that's another thing that's ruined this country. The boomers started this whole no soliciting shit. You know, that's how we built this country, is knocking on doors to get jobs. That's literally how we built America. And at the moment, you want to make everything go through an algorithm that picks and chooses who gets to get in that algorithm to get the most. Whoever pays the most is who gets the most exposure. That's another big thing that's fucking our country up. This technology does not help us run our companies. It makes us dumber, and it makes it where we don't know how to run our companies anymore because we rely so much on this shit. When we had to keep the books and we had to actually look at everything that was going on in our company, that's when we had... No, 42? No, you would be right on the cusp of Generation X and Millennial. Zoomer is this generation that's, you know, this middle generation right now that's right under the millennials. So you got boomers, Gen X, then you got millennials, and technically I consider all the beginning of millennials. I'm 43. I was considered Gen X up until 5 years ago for some reason, but I was raised in Gen X. I was raised with Gen X. I was born in 1982. You know what I mean? So, and then you get, like I said, millennials, and then you got Zoomers, and then Gen Alpha. So our generation has 100+ million people in it for our generation alone. Gen Z only has 60 million. Gen Alpha only has 40 million. Okay. Gen Z are going in their 30s this year. You understand? They're in their fucking 30s this year. So the kids that were 10 years old that started in Gen Alpha 20 years ago that are now 20, that Gen Alpha is going to be the second largest. In Gen Z, this generation that's been the ones that supported Biden Harris, supported all this woke bullshit, they're going to be the largest voting bloc for this fucking voting section. Gen X is now going to be the smaller of the blocks, and boomers are just like, the vote is just, I mean, most boomers are up 80, 82, 70s, stuff like that. You know, late 70s, 80s, you know. So in another 10 generations, people are going to be starting to forget about what my generation did. You know what I mean? And another 10 years, people are going to start forgetting about what happened in my generation. In another 20 years, everything that was done in my generation is going to be forgot about. You know what I mean? And we don't have history books anymore, so the knowledge can just be changed whenever they want it to. You know, that's the good thing about history books. The bad thing about school books is they change sporadically. Good thing about history books is it stays in history and you remember it. I'm not saying they don't print books anymore, but you really don't get any history books anymore. Not like we used to. You know what I mean? Like we used to document everything. Can you tell me who your grandparents were, their full names, where they were from? Can you tell me where your great-great-grandparents are from, their full names? You know, we used to start our day off when we met somebody by saying, my name is Joshua. My father was Jeffrey Pierce. My mother was Rebecca Pierce. Her mother was Imogene Mills. Her father was, holy crap, Stinkin' Papa. Damn it, I never knew his name. His name was Stinkin' Papa is what we called him, Papa. And then my father was Jeffrey Pierce. His mother was Barb Pierce. His father was Wally Pierce. His brother is Wally Pierce. His brother. You know what I mean? They would introduce their entire family line for like 5, 10, 20 generations. Most people don't even know what their grandparents' full name is. Most people don't know where their grandparents were born. Most people don't know their fucking social security number or their driver's license number by heart. You know what I mean? Most people don't even know their phone number anymore. God, you remember how many phone numbers we used to have? Anyone that's, grew up in the 80s, 90s, remember how many phone numbers we used to have stored up here? Holy shit. You remember the cord getting all crinkled up and having to pull that motherfucker around the corner so you could talk to your girlfriend and your older brother wouldn't come out and be like, or you'd pull the fucking cord out from the phone while you're trying to stretch it out and you're talking and don't realize the phone's hung up? Or having to run across the house and that fucking one spot on your shin that's permanently damaged for the rest of your life because there's always a fucking coffee table or a wooden arm from a fucking chair or a couch right in the way of you getting to that phone and you fucking smash your leg on it every time. I miss that pain, man. I miss that pain, bro. Those were the good days. When you got a fucking scrape on your arm, you just rubbed some fucking dirt in it and kept going, and drinking out of the water hose was how you stayed hydrated. Drinking from the faucet inside your house instead of dirtying your cup, because you knew mom would beat that ass if she found that cup laying around, was the way to go. You know? It's just, it's sad if the power ever goes out. You know what I mean? Because this is going to be a bad day, and it's going to happen soon. If you haven't seen all the glitches, all the power outages, the massive AI hack that happened to China 2 weeks ago now, also X went down, Rumble went down at the same time, YouTube was down, fucking Firebrand and Post Millennial was down, all kinds of stuff went out. We'll go over here to some of this news about, we'll skip over to some of the videos so you can listen to some other people talk for a minute. It's got a reality check anytime now. If it's not already a reality check, then we're fucking cooked, bro. We're cooked. I mean, we're going to get into some of this shit that's happening right now. We're going to listen to it because I don't want to get struck for anything right now. I'm on my last strike for the month. Berserker Patriot 1776 on Rumble, at Berserker Patriot on X. I go live on both of those as well. So it will be a situation where, I mean, honestly, people are like, well, what would you do if the world ended right now? I said, honestly, I'd probably celebrate. I hate to say that. I'd probably celebrate because I'll survive. I ain't got no problem. But I can go eat fucking grubs and fucking live in the woods, bro. That won't bother me one bit. I'll get some hog, I'll go ahead and throw some meat up in a fucking salt pack and have meat that's good for fucking years. You know what I mean? So I know what to do, but most people don't. And that's a scary situation. Most people don't even know how to get clean water or how to purify water without any modern, like everybody, get a Sawyer's filter. What happens if you're just driving down the road and your car breaks down? You know what I mean? What happens if you're driving down the road and your car breaks down? You need clean water. You're in the middle of the fucking desert. There ain't nobody around. But I've been stuck in the desert between fucking Texas and Arizona. Woo, buddy. You get in the middle of that motherfucker, that's a fucking full day drive in either direction. There'd be fucking a whole day. Yeah, the sun's, yeah, but you know, I mean, I'm about to do a big story on the whole magnetic sphere and how it's depleting right now, and how there's a big dent in our magnetosphere, and how we just had those two huge solar eyes that, thank God, missed us. One of them came in far enough to where we saw the aurora borealis all the way into Florida, though, which is pretty nuts, and in Texas. So, I mean, that is pretty nuts. But it's just funny that at the same time that was happening, an American AI went rogue, hacked a bunch of financial shit in China, and then hacked a bunch of shit here too, and they haven't told us about it. It was released for about 4 hours at 3 a.m. Okay, I was up trying to do my best to cover all the stories while all the internet was going out. I kept getting kicked off of lives. But for 4 hours, the Chinese news had up that their systems had just been hacked and they were shutting down their banks for 24 hours. Okay, and then all of a sudden, 2 hours later, X fell, Rumble fell, Crowdflare fell, fucking YouTube fell, and it all stayed down for quite some time. Past the point of when those coronal mass injections were pointed at us. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity point. You know what I mean? It's too much of a coincidence. Normally, the simplest answer will be the answer that's the correct answer. So, but yes, I do have a thing coming out. Also, in 24 hours, like 7 volcanoes just erupted like crazy around the world. All these 7.0 and above fucking earthquakes. Remember in the 90s, like a 5.0 was, whoa, a 5.0. Then again, a 4.5 hurricane was like, whoa, in the 90s too. So, absolutely. The thing is you got to learn to make your body strong under those conditions. You know what I mean? You got to push your body past that point where it'll stay strong in those specific conditions. It's a beautiful thing how the human body adapts, isn't it? It's quite remarkable. Like right now, this National Guardsman, he's responsive today. We'll go ahead and give that news. The National Guardsman's responsive today. As you know, the female died. She passed away. From heinous terrorism from an Afghani national Muslim terrorist screaming Allah Snakbar before he fucking killed her. Digressing for a second. Also, the same week, an Afghani nationalist that came in under the same exact program from the same province just a year later goes on TikTok, says, I'm building a bomb and I'm going to blow up half of Fort Worth, and he's been arrested now. Another Afghani Muslim terrorist. Again, I tell you before we finish talking about the good news, Taqiyya, look it up, Taqqiya. It is the practice in the Quran under the Muslim religion to lie and subvert the truth from the infidel and the unbeliever to infiltrate and take over. Okay, and then number 2 in the Taqiyya is act like a victim. Doing all of that wonderfully right now, aren't they? So, the nurse asked the male National Guard member today, while they were in there, can you hear me? He gave her a thumbs up and wiggled his toes. That's a great sign. So, everybody's like, yeah, but he's in a coma. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what your body does. So, when you receive extreme trauma, the body is a remarkably awesome thing, okay? God did miraculous work here, okay? So, instinctively, your body automatically shuts down everything that's not focusing on repairing what's damaged. Okay, so he's in a coma right now. His brain has a lot of central nervous systems, neurons that also run through the entire body. We're spaghetti monsters. If you take our flesh suit off, we're big spaghetti monsters. Okay, and all those neurons run through the body. So the brain automatically shuts down every neuron except for the functions that are absolutely necessary for the human body to stay alive at that moment. And then it focuses the rest of the neurons around the damaged part of the body, and it goes blah, 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 blah. Collagen forms, blood cells come together, microbes and germs and everything mixes all up through all the exposure, and guess what? You heal and you start forming a scar. So it's a beautiful thing that he can give a thumbs up. He's responsive in his brain, so the neurons are firing enough for him to understand what you're saying. So the human body being so awesome, he wasn't responding before because he was so damaged that that part of his computer would not reboot. So let's put this in layman's terms for people that understand computers better than a brain. His brain was not rebooting. So slowly his brain, as it repairs more and more and more, and days go by, because remarkably the body heals quite fast. You feel like it heals slow, but it's remarkably fast for the type of damage that's happened. So self-healing biomatter, and then it goes on, turns on more, reboot, he'll wake up. And then the rest of his body's still booted down because it's still damaged. But his eyes will open, his mouth will function, his brain will function. Okay, so this is how they should progress medically, scientifically, and spiritually and holy. Okay, this is how awesome God designed our body. This is what you have to understand. Okay, so as long as the soul is still intact, the body is still alive. So he's not dead, and that's the best outcome we can get out of this right now. His body is rebooting, better outcome. When he wakes up, much better outcome. The moment he opens his eyes, he's more than likely going to stay alive unless he has brain swelling or some kind of internal GI bleed that we cannot see. No, I am not a doctor. No, I am not a surgeon. Can I cut your chest open and fucking squeeze it with my hand and keep you alive? Abso-fucking-lutely. Have I studied how to do these things on pigs and stuff like that when I was fucking field stripping? 100%. Can I put a chest compressing needle in you, a nasal fusion jarret? Can I run an IV line? Do I know how to use a coconut as an IV? Absolutely. Common medical things that everybody should know. How to use a tourniquet. How to use a chest seal wound. How to use a Band-Aid. How to properly clean a wound so it doesn't get infected. Common little things. How to not take Tylenol and make your baby retarded. Just little things. Not go eat handfuls of Tylenol so you fucking OD on it. The fact that you people don't know you can OD on Tylenol in itself is fucking retarded. Okay? Because we used to talk about stuff like that. People like AOC are why, we have to put warning labels on shit. So, I'm just so... What do we do anymore? What are we even talking about anymore? What the fuck is news anymore? Do we really even have news? Because this shit that we call news isn't what we've called news throughout history. This shit is crazy, man. So let's get into our Muslim terrorist. I didn't monetize this video because I knew it was going to get copyright struck. So just to not get copyright struck, we go ahead and...
National was arrested on Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating that he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area there in Texas. This is all according to the Department of Homeland Security. I want to put up some video that we have there of that suspect in full.
This was the second Afghan national. There's going to be a third and a fourth and a fifth.
Are showing that the man is now being charged with making a terroristic threat at the state level. He came into the U.S. as a part of the Biden administration's Operation Allies Welcome, just like the D.C. shooting.
Once again, I'm going to call bullshit on our fucking government. Republicans. This is Fox, mainstream media. What the fuck? So this guy lives somewhere else. He's premeditating doing this. He's telling you he's going to do this. He makes a video of him building a fucking bomb and says he's going to blow up a large swath of Fort Worth. He doesn't live in Fort Worth. He's going to travel there, and it's only a state thing. Listen, motherfuckers, I wrote a check and sent it to Georgia to the fucking courthouse to pay a fine. And I wrote a number wrong. And they tried to get me for federal fraud for fucking Right? Was it a number or was it a letter or something? Something I spelled wrong or I wrote wrong. And they tried to get me for federal fraud for sending a check across state lines and fraudulent use. I'm like, what the fuck? So I sent them another check and I was like, hey, it was a mistake. Rip it up, you know? This other guy travels halfway across the motherfucking country to kill 2 service members of the National Guard. These are soldiers. These are not federal officers. These are fucking soldiers of our country. They might be National Guard, but they're still under the umbrella of the fucking military, and they are soldiers. Stop comparing them to federal agents. One murdered, one in horrible condition in a coma, and I just explained exactly what they're going through right now. And you got to understand, when your brain's awake like that and you can't do anything and you're in a coma, it sucks. I was there, I know, 16 months. It's fucking garbage, bro. It's fucking garbage shit. He can have an itch and he can't scratch it because all he can do is fucking flick you off. And look at that fucking fluff in the background there. What are you doing? You better lay down. I'm going to shock you like a Son Piker. Go get some water. I bet you she's going to go get that water. You go get some water or you're going to fuck my shit up. She will start scratching something. What you doing? You want to come sit in the fucking corner that's 2 feet in diameter? Now she's going to sit there and just stare at shit. Anyway, that's Princess Kiera. She's never been away from me in 13 years of her life. So, let's get back to this terrorist. Yes, heart goes out to all of them. My heart goes out to all of them. As an American citizen, as a patriot, as someone that loves this country dearly and was willing to die for this country and any Christian brother that wants to stand beside him, I'm pissed. I'm angry. I don't want vengeance. I don't want revenge. I want pure justice is what I want. I want justice for all of the murder, all of the death, all of the chaos that has happened in this country. I want justice. I don't want to hear pretty fucking words. I want to see actions. Do you understand? I want to see action. I don't want to hear pretty words anymore. I'm tired of hearing, oh, we're going to indict this person. We're going to indict that. They're not going to indict you. They're going to walk right up, put you in fucking handcuffs, or shoot you in the face. That's what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. And they're telling you that's what they're going to do. They're like, hey, guess what? When we get in power, we're going to arrest them. They were just on the news today, that senator. They're putting billboards up telling the military not to take orders from the sitting president of the United States. If you don't think we're in war in this country right now, then wake up. Please wake up. Because I'm trying to be as nice as possible by saying you're going to have to pick your side now. Because if you don't pick your side now and you don't start coming together with a certain community, you're going to have a side at all. You're not going to have a side. And that's the worst side to be on. You're going to be on the left, you're going to be on the right at this point. You're going to be a Christian, you're going to be a demon. That's a fact at this point. But the fact of the matter is do you think we're just going to let them come arrest us for no reason? For constitutionally protected activity? Do you think we're just going to allow them to murder us? Or do you think that as Christians, as crusaders, we're going to rise up against the Philistines? Because that's who these people are. They're the fucking Philistines. Y'all understand that, right? They still run under the same sigil, which is the crescent and the star. These are the same enemies from the time of Saul, David, Samuel. These are the same enemies. Well, it's a religious doctrine. I'm going to read it to you again. Okay. The Muslim practice of taqiyya, it's Taqqiya. It is the practice to lie to the infidel, deceive the infidel, so you can get what you want, which is ran under a lot of Sharia Muslims and many other types of sects of Muslims that these people are. But it is in the Quran. So when people say, well, it's only this sect, well, then you're not a Muslim because you don't go by the Quran. And the Quran says you have to go by the Quran. It even says in the taqiyya practice, as long as you keep Allah in your heart and you know what is true and you express that in the long run, deceiving the unbeliever to infiltrate, take over, and achieve your goal of jihad and taqiyah upon the infidel, which is taking a sword and taking a sword to the neck until the infidel is slaughtered, which is Surah 128. And then you can go into Surah 33 through 66 that also talk about killing the infidel. So, that's not really an old ass hat. I just have an old ass head. Not really an old ass hat. Like, it ain't all stained up or nothing. It's just a hat, buddy. Just a hat. Because I don't feel like wearing my bald head right now. It's not a very peaceful religion. So, first of all, if you don't know about the Muslim religion, Muhammad is their prophet. Okay, they say peace be with you until their laws are in effect. And then that peace turns into, well, we're going to murder you because you're the unbeliever. So, Muhammad married a 6-year-old and raped her when she was 9. In every single Muslim country, including the United Muslim Emirates, sexual assault on a minor is 100% legal. Marrying your first cousin and fucking your first cousin is encouraged in the Quran under the Muslim religion, which is a direct violation of American law. Okay. Because it keeps the IQ down. Muslims will flat out tell you when they're arguing with you, they prefer low IQ Christians. Of course they do. Because when you're low IQ, you just don't have to think that hard about it, right? Because you're fucking retarded. So they can lead you into believe whatever they want because they know you won't research it because you cannot research it. Do you know that there's a vast majority of kids in all of our inner cities, they can't even read, bro. I'm not even making this shit up. They can't read. They can't write. They can't do math. Everything they get is off of a fucking app. It's insane. It's insane. So when you have a whole generation that's like that, it's really easy to say, oh, well, don't read past the first 33 pages of the Quran, because then when you start reading that far in, but then I guess once they get them to the first 33 pages of the Quran, it's all puppy dogs and kitty cats. Yeah, 9-year-old. Muhammad's wife was 9 years old. He married her when she was 6, and he consummated the marriage when she was 9. He raped her at 9. So, there's no such thing as adultery in the Muslim religion because you can have 4 or 5 wives. So how can you be an adulterer? You have 4 or 5 wives. So it's old enough to bleed, old enough to breed in the Muslim religion. The moment a woman hits puberty, they're fair game to any man to be a wife. Okay, so that's insane. For one. For two, this is what they do. That's real peaceful, right? This is the Muslim religion. That's really peaceful. These are Afghan nationals that we've been at war with for the past 22 years. That so many people forget the sound of bodies falling from 33 stories and hitting cars and concrete. I know the firefighters from 9/11 don't. I know they remember standing under the hardtop, listening to those bodies because there's videos from it, hearing them splat on concrete. You know what it sounds like? Young generation, because y'all don't know anything about this. You know, when an American citizen falls from 33 stories because they have no other option but to bust a window and jump to their death rather than burning alive, because burning alive is less preferable than falling to your death and splatting, because that's the set up. Yeah, the Muslims flying the planes into the World Trade Centers was a setup. See, we have an entire generation of retarded people, going back generations, that just, we got to get rid of people thinking that voting is a right in this country. It's not a right. No, it was absolutely Muslims. 2 of them were trained right here in my hometown where I'm at right now at the fucking airport. Don't tell me who it was. It was fucking absolutely Afghani Muslims that fucking hijacked the planes for 9/11. So, you can go fuck yourself on that. You can leave your theories that you have no evidence on whatsoever wherever you want to put them. I mean, everybody has the right to their own opinion. I got it. When I see evidence is when I know things. Was the Afghan war set up? 100%. Was it set up by Afghani Muslims? 100%. Do Muslims hate America? 100%. Do Muslims want all the unbelievers and infidel dead? 100%. Will the Muslims lie to you and use you as the unbeliever for their goal? 100%. Okay. Will they act like a victim and cry on TV because someone spit 3 feet away from them when they probably just cut a dude's head off on TV before they moved over here? Abso-fucking-lutely. Will they throw a fag off of a building and watch them splat in a Muslim country and then come over here and lie to you and tell you they're peaceful and fucking act like a professional victim? 100%. Do they fuck little kids and steal Christians off the streets in America, which nobody's talking about? 160,000 American Christian women coming up missing in the past 4.5 years? Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, fuck, I can keep going if you'd like me to. Get them trees, yo. Nigeria. Oh, fuck. Look at all the Christians getting slaughtered in Nigeria. You know, absolutely. 100%. Is that how you spell it, though? France, Germany, Ireland. Ireland, of all places, knows what's up right now. You know, I'm saddened by the government. You would have thought that the IRA would have stood up in fucking Ireland by now with all this bullshit that's happened. What the fuck? Yeah, Ireland. Yeah, Ireland. You would have thought that the IRA would have, golly, man. Savages in fucking Ireland. People don't even know the fucking genes of Ireland, man. Fucking come from fucking Slavic Vikings and shit in Northern Ireland. You know, 2 completely different people from Northern Ireland to Southern Ireland. You know, a lot of people don't understand that. Southern Ireland are, you know, more blonde-haired and redhead, correct? And then in Northern Ireland, a lot of them look more like me with the little bit of tinges of red hair in our beard. Yeah. I'm disappointed in our sister lands, you know, right now. I mean, look how woke Europe has gone. Look at what's happened. And, yeah, look what's happened all around the world right now. But the funny thing is, I mean, look at Japan. You'd think Poland's got it right. Everybody just needs to take a page out of Poland's book because they just shoot fucking illegals when they try to come into their country. They say, fuck that. We're not fucking around. We're just going to shoot them. So Poland's got it down right. Sweden has it down on the Second Amendment. I don't know how much it's got fucked up here recently, but, you know, we actually got our Second Amendment from Sweden. We just took the mandatory part out of it. That's why our Second Amendment's so similar. But let's hear more about what they have to say about this guy. They still have no information, of course, on the Stockton mass shooter. 3 children killed by whoever this savage, uncivilized animal is. And I hope it doesn't have to be the cops that finds the guy. I'll say that out loud. I don't give a fuck.
Suspect. On September 7th of 2022, he was admitted as a lawful permanent resident. ICE has currently lodged a detainer on him. Once again, that is the current update that we have there from Fox News. Is Brooke Taylor, with them now reporting there that the Afghan national was charging Fort Worth, Texas.
Which one is Palestinians?
This one? They start a war. They murder and rape innocent.
So for those of you
gets to determine what international law is.
Music to my ears. Absolute music to my ears. So international law is a fake law that was created by retards.
Hold on, let me find this.
Their authorities on other.
Shut up, Nexstar. 1 second. Let me find this because I'm already going to get copyright struck, so it doesn't matter. If you didn't get to hear this the other night, you got to hear it now because this is the most fucking insane shit ever. Yeah. So we'll go from this guy's shit
yells, screams, threatens to blow himself up to kill people for the sake of, I guess, peace or something. It is the religion of peace after all. So for the sake of peace, he threatens to blow himself up and take some people with him. Thank God they arrested this guy, which is great because for the longest time, incitement of violence was basically shrugged off, and people never took that seriously. So it's pretty insane that actually it is happening. Now, again,
So
this is Philadelphia.
What we're about,
for the record.
what you're about to see and hear, you might as well be in a Muslim country. This is Philadelphia. What you're about to see and hear is the most insane shit ever in America. This is normal for over there.
It's insane that we need to do this, but this isn't Philadelphia. We will sacrifice our souls without hesitation, says children in Philadelphia. We will chop off their heads, and we will liberate the sorrowful and exalted Al-Aqsa Mosque. For the record, that is a mosque that's in Jerusalem on the ruins of the Temple of Solomon.
الأقصى الحزين العاري ونقود جيش الله منجز وعده ونسومهم سوء العذاب القادم.
Bro.
That's fucking insane.
Bro, why are we teaching children to become rebels in Philadelphia? Yeah, hot take. I don't actually think this is good.
So, listen, I'm just going to say this right now. The fact that that's even allowed on American fucking soil, we're cooked, bro. We're fucking cooked. Do you understand? The fact that, and that's happening all over the fucking place. You know, I've exposed what's going on here in Florida. I've talked about Dearborn, Michigan. I've talked about New York. I've talked about all of it. You know, at this point, if people don't wake up, that's on you. You know what I mean? So understand, midterms are going to be fucking nuts. They're going to be insane. Oh, I'm old. Standing up sucks. I took the hottest shower in the world today. It was wonderful. Let's go peruse the truck really quick for those who don't know who I am. So for those that say I'm just a guy that talks shit on the internet, no, I'm a guy that talks shit in everyday life. Fucking 7 years, every day, all day. A lot of shit's changed up, but Joseph Biden, that's who. Joseph Biden let them in this country under the temporary protective status agreement, under the Partners with Afghanistan program. It's fucking insane. Fucking insane. One thing you got to give Obama, that motherfucker deported a shit ton of people from this country. Shit ton of people from this country. So when he goes on TV and says, well, we can't deport people. Yeah, you know, we can't deport people. But I deported 12 to 15 million under my presidency. So let me be an articulately speaking black man when I'm in public. You know, fucking crazy, bro. We called him the deporter-in-chief for a reason. Fuck Venezuela. Nuke them. I don't give a fuck about Venezuela. Are you kidding me? Maduro's a fucking sorry-ass piece of shit. There's no war crimes. Everything he's doing is 100% under the preview of the fucking Pete Hegseth and fucking Donald Trump. They have the executive authority over the military. There have been no acts of war off the coast of people sending drugs to our country. That's 100%. Obama did it. So you're saying we need to go prosecute Obama for war crimes? He did it. He fucking did it, or you forget about that, right? He drone striked American citizens. So, what's your point there? So we need to go after every president that did this then? Okay, let's go arrest Obama. Let's go arrest Joe Biden. Let's go arrest Bush. Everybody's drone striked. Somebody. Everybody. So what are we really talking about here? Fucking Venezuela drug boats? That's what you're standing up for? Fucking criminals and fucking drug dealers and pedophiles and Muslims we don't care what you think. That's the fact of the matter. We don't care what people like you think. As far as people like me are concerned, we want my president to enact full wartime powers right now, enact the Insurrection Act, and come after all of you people that hate this country so much in force and just get you the fuck out of here. You're not Americans as far as we're concerned. We don't care anymore. You've pushed this so far. You're murdering people in the fucking streets, and the people you're advocating for are murdering people in the fucking streets. The people you're voting for want to murder people in the streets. We don't care anymore. We don't care what happens to you. I have no mercy. I don't give a fuck what they do to you. I don't care. You motherfuckers arrested me 19 times, sent the FBI to my house numerous times. I was on the front page of the paper 12 times. My truck's been smashed up. You've shot me. You've burnt things down with me inside it. You've attacked my dog. I don't care what happens to you. It's justice. After everything you've done to me and people like me, it's not even the beginning of justice what's happening to you right now. We haven't even gotten started. You understand that, right? We're only a year in. We're not even started yet. This is just the big, this, you better buckle up, Buttercup. Them panties are coming off. We promise you. That shit's gonna go down, bro. You ain't getting away. There ain't nowhere for you to go. You see how much power we have? Donald Trump didn't order anything. He simply made a truth. See, that's the difference between a retard and someone like me. Is I understand that nothing Donald Trump has done is illegal because all he's done is give his opinion in a social media post. He has not made one declaration or one order or one fucking thing about any of this. He simply said in a social media post, he didn't direct anybody to do it. He said, I think that Venezuela needs to shut down their airspace. And guess what happened? Everybody stopped flying over Venezuela. Do you know that there's stories right now that somebody's shut down the power grid in Venezuela? Absolutely. We got to go get that fucking sorry motherfucker over there. You know, Venezuela used to be one of the richest countries in the fucking world, bro. And now after he's taken over, look what's happened. We can get the oil pumping over there again. We can get these people in a good economy. We can get these people fucking rich again. And they're, you know what? The people of Venezuela are like, help us, Trump. Just like Europe and everybody else is calling on Donald Trump to come help them right now. Get rid of all these people that he fucked up and let mass migrate to their countries. So it is what it is. You can be stupid if you want to, but these countries themselves are banning Muslims, banning migration. We're banning migration. What's a war act? What's a war crime? Tell me what he's done that's a war crime. Tell me one thing he's done that's a war crime. Because he hasn't made any declarations on anybody. You talk about the boats, the drug boats that he's blowing up. He's 100% in his preview to do that. 100%. Under the law. That's why they can't arrest him for it. That's why they haven't done anything. That's why all they've done is gone on TV and talked a bunch of this. Because they can't do anything. Every single court case has been dismissed and dropped. You know that, right? Georgia court case is over. It's done, dismissed, gone completely. He's not a felon. All the felony charges are dropped, gone, done completely. By the judges themselves, not by any other fucking recourse. So he's won everything y'all have ever thrown at him. He's beaten you every single time. Every time. So you wake up. .36 approval rating is wonderful. That's a wonder. You don't understand how percentages works. You don't understand how approval ratings work. That's 1,000 people. They poll 1,000 people, and you're probably getting that approval rating from a mainstream media source as well, because right-leaning media sources say Trump's approval rating is up over 45 cents. Even CNN just said, oh my God, Trump has such a great approval rating, even after all of this shit that's happening. So where are you getting your approval ratings from? I haven't met one person that calls themselves a MAGA Republican out of the thousands of comments I get through all of my social media that says they don't back Trump anymore. Not one motherfucking person. I don't meet anybody on the streets. As a matter of fact, there's more enthusiasm for Donald Trump everywhere I go, especially after everything that's going on right now. If Trump keeps up the way he's going right now, we won't have to worry about the midterms. You know what I mean? Because they won't have anybody to vote for them. All the illegals will be gone. So, and they're outright admitting, he's deporting our voters. He's deporting, yeah, we're deporting your illegal voters. Your illegal voters. We do not allow anybody to come to our country. It's never been that way. It'll never be that way. No country does that. You don't have a country if you do that. You don't have borders, you don't have a country. Okay? We're going to go back to America being the first and only language in America. We got the Gulf of America. You know, maybe we should change the District of Columbia to the District of America. You know what I mean? Washington, District of America. Alligator Alcatraz was just the beginning. They're building many more facilities for you people. You're cooked. We're good. You're cooked. There's literally nothing you can do either. I mean, it took 20 Proud Boys to run you people out of the ICE facility in Portland. That's it. 20 Proud Boys. You know what I mean? There's millions of us out here. You come down south, it's not going to be the National Guard or the federal agency you have to worry about. It's going to be the rednecks and their fucking diesel trucks and their fucking work trucks coming out there at you. And we live in Florida. When y'all come down here and do stupid shit, like December 21st, just tune in on December 21st when we go live from the Tampa arena there with all the Patriots that are going to show up, all the Christians that are going to show up, and how we don't back down from these tyrants that want to stand up for Muslim terrorists in our country. We won't back down from that shit. There's going to be thousands of us. And you're going to find out. The Republicans are going to find out. When people finally stand the fuck up, they don't do shit. That's the only reason the left is getting away with shit, because they show up in force and Republicans don't. But when we show up in force, they'll shut the fuck up. Because our force looks a lot different than your force does. So that's all there is to it. It doesn't matter where you've been. This is everywhere in the country right now. You just don't hear about it in most places. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you for right now. We're an hour 22 in. I will see you all this evening on tonight's live. Be blessed, be safe. Okay.